Welcome to Great Talking Entertainment. I'm your host, KJ, and this is the YouTube channel where I review movies and TV shows from all your favorite superheroes, including Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and much more. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment official channel. Now let's go, baby! Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm KJ, and I'm your host. And today's spoiler review is the new series by 21st Series, Alien Earth, Episode 2 spoiler review, which is available now on FX, Hulu, Disney Plus, whatever you get, however you watch it, it's available now. And this is my spoiler review. So if you have not seen Episode 2, please pause this and go watch it. And before you go, could you please hit the thumbs up button on my YouTube channel? I would truly appreciate that because that would help my YouTube channel grow. So thank you in advance. Come back and let me know what you think about Episode 2, Alien Earth, in the comments below. Now, y'all been warned? Now let's get into it. This episode continues on with Joe and the other soldiers just looking at the destroyed bodies that were in the ship and see if anybody survived. The next thing shows up is the Prodigy's Neverland research area, and we see a conversation between Dame Sylvia and Billy and boy genius Caviar are talking about the different ways to look and achieve that prodigies can do. Right, to use this thing to figure out what's going on. And even when Wendy's in a different like body and a different version of herself, she still shows emotion like a human, and she still has the wants to help, and she cares for Joe, which is her brother, and wants to help and wants to. Episode 1 responds then the episode of a flashback about one day earlier. We see Joe wanting to like quit. You know, he wanted to get out of something. He wanted to be part of what he's doing right now. And we see that Wendy has the ability to remodify a robot or the codes of a robot to say what needs to be said and grant his wish. And he got what he wanted, right? And the company, the Protege company, were so witnessed and memorized by this. Like, she's so far advanced. And again, the company spies on people. And maybe more advanced than ever Wendy is. And then we see the Lost Boys, you know, go into the ship, and we see this alien, and they're freaking out. And again, they're like kids. Well, they are kids. And we see them really scared, and they're looking at it. We see like one scene where this cat that was in the spaceship, and as a cat dad, I was heartbroken. But this alien that had a human eyeball or whatever took over the cat, and then it killed the cat. It was nasty. It was disgusting. I couldn't believe what I witnessed, but it was crazy. It was kind of cool looking. And, you know, it scared them. And then, like, we see, like, everybody looking around. There's bodies. And then they go into this building. And, you know, we see, like, Joe or Hermit. And he's trying to figure out what's going on. And this alien, the, what do they call it? Xenomorpher. And this xenomorpher alien is just vicious. This thing don't hold back. It's going to kill you. But at some point, it's a little different. Like, it has its own ways. And, you know, it knows when you're close to its kids, its eggs. Like, it will come get you. And this thing was a horrible thing. Like, there's a scene in episode 2 where everybody's having a little party, and Joe and Wendy like reunite at this point, and they're like, dude, you got to get out. Like, you don't understand what's going on, right? And this guy just shuts the door and go back to party. When they go back, to check on those people who are just in this hotel room or building or whatever, they're gone because the aliens tore them up. Like it was intense. There was a lot of blood. It was kind of scary because they're all just drunk, high, whatever, and they got destroyed. So that was that. And then like in this episode too, we see like the way this alien this thing is just lurking and lurking. And what's really interesting is this xenomorpher. There's a scene where that cyborg Morrow, who captured that xenomorpher, and it was really interesting because he was trying to get rid of it, take it back to his boss, which we find out in this episode it's Miss Yutani, who is the owner of this ship, who conducted this, and obviously Cavalier told her, like, hey, this is on my land, this is on my property, and I'm going to take what you got, basically, and there's really nothing she can do, but she's like, hey, I really want my ship back because there's some stuff that I'm trying to experiment on, and that's pretty much the idea. And so why does Miss Yutani want this alien creature? And again, like I said in episode 1, I think that one, it's can they transfer this alien species into a clone of a human body, and can you reverse it, send a human into that body? Who knows? But I think it's gonna be something like that. And I think one of the corporation companies between those two are going to try to do it now. And then I also believe that she's probably like Captain Hook at this point, like in my mind, if you base off of Peter Pan. And like I said in episode 1, they showed Ice Age movie. And I didn't want to bring it up in episode 1, but I want to bring it up in episode 2. This is kind of like foreshadowing the idea now, like how the Ice Age happened. This is going to be the new version of an Ice Age event that's going to take place. And I feel like it's going to happen within this season because this is going to, once whoever captures this alien, which is called a xenomorpher, and what could they do with this body? What could they do with its organs and everything you can imagine, and its DNA basically. But this thing is on the run. And at the end of this episode, right, Wendy and Joe and the rest of the Lost Boys find those eggs, and that creature got mad, and obviously he's going to protect its babies. And it took Joe. But before that, you know what I like too is I felt like it was a little bit rushed. I thought they were going to wait a little bit to anticipate it. But thanks to the character name, slightly spilled all the beans, told everything, and then they had their moment. And it took a while, but now Joe believes Wendy because he asked her questions that only his sister could answer. And I like Slightly. He's funny. He's a funny character. He's just a kid. He's just a little kid that's just being a kid. They don't understand what's going on, but Wendy's so smart. She's so intelligent. And she sees the bigger thing for her age subconsciously. She's an adult woman now thanks to the transformation. So I thought that was pretty neat. I wish they'd just hold off on it. I thought if they just anticipated it'd be a little bit more dramatic. But they rushed it, and I'm not a really fan of rushing things like that. I would rather spread that out before you get to the end of season 1. That's just me. I'm old school like that, but that's what I prefer. But because it's really, to me, that's how I would really more build off and watch them create some type of friendship or bond between each other. And then throughout each episode, I would have just watched these characters kind of get the hint, or Joe for himself to say, something's right. He reminds me of my sister. The way she talks, the way she acts, the way she things, right? And just keep it there, and then have that moment. It was like, you lied to me. Why would you hold this to me? And it just, but they kind of rushed it. But it's because they decided to do the thing where Slightly, who's just a kid, just spilled the tea basically. But I'm okay with it. I'm just not a fan of it. That's the only thing I didn't like about that particular thing in this episode was that. That was it. That was it, everybody. I promise. But as again, now this alien has Joe, and now Wendy's gonna try to save the day. And it's pretty interesting where this is going. But I thought it was pretty interesting, this Xenomorpher smiled a little bit at Morrow. So I just wonder, did this cyborg do the experience that Miss Yutani wanted to do? And was it successful? And who was it? Like, its teeth seems a little bit more better than like they did in 1979, right? But again, different era, different time of films. And where does this go? Is the real question of that. But I want to say, in theory, my prediction is that this one was once human. I think that's where they're going with it. I could be wrong. But I think this one was once human. And it's just trying to escape. And it's probably an inmate from prison. Or maybe they took somebody from a mental hospital type facility and experimented on that. There's so many ways, but this creature when it smiled to me, to that cyborg, it shows some type of human trait. That's what I'm saying. So it's very interesting to see where this could be. But that's where I'm thinking that's where they're taking this story at, based off of episode 2 and 1, of course. So now, if I had to give this one a 1 out of 10, I'm definitely giving this a 7. This is really good, really good. I think they're kind of rushing things a little bit. I think they should have let certain things build up to be more anticipated for the viewers. I think it would be more excited. But as far as like the action and the blood and glory and the horror, that element that they put in this episodes, I thought it was really done well. I love the cast crew. I mean, every one of them so talented, and their performance is so well done. And you know what? Everything is so interesting, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat, whether it's from the action or just the amazing dialogue between the actors and actresses when they're interacting with each other as the characters they're portraying. I just thought it was so well done, and I just love the background, the scenery, and I just love everything about this thing. So it's really good, and I'm enjoying it so far. But that's my spoiler review, everyone. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment official channel. Subscribe, hit that notification button so you can always be updated with all my latest content. Thank you guys, and peace out.